Hello, hello. Happy stream. I have so much stuff everywhere today. What is this? That's my coffee. Okay. Can't figure out where anything is anymore. There we go. Welcome back, everyone. I've got my Domon Kashu shirt on from G Gundam. It's one of my favorite pieces of clothing. G Gundam is one of my favorite things. I have fond memories of it, huge nostalgia factor. I have so many fond memories of watching it after school on Toonami when I was younger, and I own the whole series because it's hard to find nowadays. It's so campy, it's so silly, it's ridiculous, and I love it. And he's just such a dum dum, but we love him. We love him for who he is. So, love this shirt. Maybe I'll watch a few episodes today. We'll see. Got a lot of stuff in the geekdom going on. I just finished A Sign of Affection, which I started because my siblings were watching it, and I said, I'll join in on the fun. So I finished that. I just started Apothecary Diaries upon their request as well. And so far, it's a little slow for me, but hopefully it'll start picking up. I'm not a huge fan of the, I'm assuming, main love interest at this time. I'm very early on in. So let me know. Let me know if I need to give it more of a chance. And we're almost done with Rebirth. Got the last, literally, we just turned the corner on the 400 sprint, and it's the rush to the finish. So, gonna finish that today. So, lots of stuff going on. I also just got back from an anime convention last weekend, which is why we didn't have class, and I won an award in the masquerade, which was completely unexpected. I was shook when I got lined up to accept an award. So very pleasantly surprised, and I'm just so glad that people enjoyed my performance. My performance was a dancer size number, and I cosplayed as Wii Fit Trainer from Smash Brothers or from the Wii Fit franchise. Clearly, given what I do on the internet, I feel a kinship with Wii Fit Trainer. She's great. I still remember when she came out for Smash, and I still remember the teaser video and just her warrior twoing people into oblivion. It just cracked me up. I love it. I love how ridiculous it is. So yeah, I always felt a very strong kinship with Wii Fit Trainer, and thought I should do something to express my connection to her. So this was just a fun, really silly performance number that I'm just really happy people enjoyed. I was I was a little skeptical on this one, that I didn't know if people would like it, but I was very wrong. I guess they liked it enough to give me a prize. So thank you again for choosing me. Inspired by my win and my Wii Fit Trainer weekend, we're gonna mix it up with our Cos Pilates. I looked at my calendar and realized, wow, April is already flying, even though we're only in the first week. It's going to go really quick. Also, because I'm a graduate student and I'm graduating, and I also have a lot of other things going on in my life. So, we're going to mix it up this month. So, inspired by my Wii Fit Trainer win, we are going to do a Wii Fit Trainer Cos Pilates. That's going to happen pretty early. It's going to happen on Tuesday. So, if you want to join me Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. EST, I will be dressed up as Wii Fit Trainer, and I'm gonna go through my choreography of the performance in the form of a fitness class. So we're gonna go through each movement and talk about technique, talk about connecting the movements, also some Pilates principles, of course, thrown in there. I'll also talk through some of the Pilates Easter eggs I threw in there as well. So it's gonna be a little bit different. But all my choreography for the number are exercises. So we're gonna do a class inspired by the choreography. So it should be fun. If you were ever curious about more non-Pilates movement or wanted it on the stream, we're going to do that. And we're going to mix it up, and it should be fun. I'm also thinking about, maybe incorporating some trivia, as we always do, for our Cos Pilates, or fun facts, or voting. So let me know what you think about that. But today's our Sunday class, so why don't we start hopping on into what we're going to do today. Today we're going to kind of fly on the seat of our pants. I, for whatever reason, am completely obsessed with side bending this past month. I love side bending. I love twisting. I love side planks and side sit-ups. Just like lateral flexion and just lateral movement has just been feeling really, really good for me. So we're going to incorporate a lot more of that in today. And I think we're going to do a little bit more planking. We did some planks last week, or 2 weeks ago. We did a full side plank situation. So we're going to bring back some planking, and we're also going to work on some corkscrew, twisting, side bending choreography as well. If you have anything you want to do, drop it in the chat and I will incorporate it in if I can. So if you were joining me to move, a couple of things. Here we go with the spiel. So this class is an open level class. That means if this is your first time taking Pilates, or your first time this week, or third time this week, oh my gosh, I'm getting my spiel wrong. Let me start over. How could I get my spiel wrong? Maybe I need more of this. Wow, there we go. All right, so this is an open level class. If this is your first time doing Pilates, or your first time this week, third time this week, I messed it up again, this class is for you. I will provide modifications to challenge or to simplify. If you were curious, and I always forget to mention this, I have a section on modifications in my About page on the Twitch channel. So if you were curious, if you're curious about that or needed to reference it before or after class, you can go to my About page, and there's some general modifications there that you can utilize for your own practice. What's basically going to happen is if your head, neck, and shoulders are starting to hurt, like say you're getting pain in your neck, lower your head, neck, and shoulders down, perform the exercise without the chest lift. Legs, the more distal and long they are from you, the harder and lower they are to the floor, the harder or more challenging it is, because you really need a lot more core strength to hold those legs up. So longer and lower, more challenging, 90 degrees bent to tabletop are going to be a good place to start, and then you can start to play with straightening the legs and lowering them further away from you as you feel it out and want to challenge. All right, those are kind of the main things. Speaking of pain, finding our edge and challenging ourselves is one thing. Pain is something we never want, and fighting through pain is something that we should never do, period. So if at any point you experience pain, take a pause and meet us in the next exercise, or take a modification that I will provide. So what we don't want to do is no pain. You know your body better than I ever will because you live in it. I also can't see you, so it's important to really connect with what you're doing and why you're doing it and how you're doing it, and listen to your body. This is one of the, I think, really important things about doing classes online. It's great to have someone in person to cue you and to have maybe give you a touch cue if you're comfortable with that. But there's something there's something about the mind-body connection that's different when you're doing classes online. You really have to tune in a little more to yourself, and you don't have to worry about, I don't know, sirens outside or people doing harder variations or whatever's going on. You can kind of have a little more time physically and mentally in your own space to kind of connect a little deeper to that. So that's my spiel. listen to your body, and let's get started. I did a really hard reformer jump board class yesterday. Like stuff I've never done on the jump board before. And wow, I am feeling it all here on my sides, which I like. I love really feeling my side body, which is why we're doing that, which is why we're on theme today. Let me move my stream deck out of the way. Shout out to my professor, DigiFiddler, on Instagram, for being the main inspiration for me streaming in general and for showing me what a stream deck was. I love my stream deck. It's my best friend. All right, one more sip of coffee. How are we feeling today, everyone? Don't hesitate to drop a hi in the chat. Hello, hello. All right, let's get started. So, lying down, our warm-up is going to begin with us activating that side body a little more, since I did say that was going to be a theme today. So we're going to start with finding our neutral position here. Wow, I can already tell I am pretty asymmetrical this morning. So take a moment, bring your hands to your hips, your bony hip points, 4 fingers to the front, thumbs to the back. So you've got almost full 360 of your hip points. And just check in with how your pelvis and your whole line is situated here on the mat. Are we favoring one side over the other? I definitely am. Is one hip hiked up higher than the other? I know mine is. Do you find that there's a big arch in your lower back? Are you smushing down to the floor? Just take note. We're not going to change anything yet, but I want you to just feel where you're at today. Now we're going to find our neutral spine position. So in Pilates, we work in a neutral spine. That's what I was trained in. That's what I also support as well. You might attend classes where there's a different spinal position that's encouraged, but here we do neutral. So get excited about that. Yeah, we are sadly not symmetrical beings. I totally feel that. It's always my left side for me because my left leg is half an inch longer than my right leg. So that leads to a lot of interesting compensations that I have to constantly be mindful of. So this is a great place to just, in a non-judgmental way, find a little bit more symmetry. So let's find that neutral position. We're going to start from our pelvis and work our way up. So I want you to take your tailbone. I want you to feel the bottommost part of your spine. So that's the sacrum is that triangular piece at the bottom of your spine. I want you to feel it heavy towards the mat and feel a little reach long towards the floor. So it's kind of going down and long, like it's gonna reach towards your heels. This is going to bring your lower back into a little bit of a lift. So what we don't want with this lift is to be able to get my whole hand through, like so. We wanna just feel a little bit of lift just so that about 2 fingers can kind of slide underneath your lower back here. If you're feeling you're completely flat and imprinted onto the mat, we want to find a little bit of lift here. If you are very imprinted, this movement's going to feel like you're arching your back, maybe dramatically, maybe a little bit. Either way, we just want that little bit of lift here. In opposition, as that lift occurs, we want those bottom tips of the ribs to draw down into the floor, down into your mat. Now, how does that happen? I want you to start to feel the front body, the front of your ribs start to draw towards center, like they're going to weave together or knit together. Your waist will also start to draw down towards your mat. You might hear the cue a lot, navel to spine. That's only part of the story. There's a lot of isolation that happens with finding your neutral spine position. So I like to imagine it, and I like to have you picture it as if you have a t-shirt on and you have a seam that's running down the side of your body, right? My Domone shirt is doing that. So right now my back is staying in this neutral position. I've got my tailbone nice and long. I've got that little lift in my lower back. Bottom tips of the ribs are down, and I've got nice width and openness in my shoulder blades. This all stays. Now anything north of my seam is drawing down and hugging in and feeling a sense of engagement. That's an isolated movement, and this is not necessarily easy to do, because sometimes what can happen is as we start to find that connection of the ribs and drawing the waist down, our pelvis might start to rock forward and back. We want to try to fight that and find that isolated engagement and start to think about separating the different parts of our body so that they move freely, independent of each other. Easier said than done, but these are all things to think about when we move through our neutral position. So as I do that, I start to find a little bit more symmetry. My longer hip starts to kind of snap into place a little bit. I start to feel a little more engagement towards my center line, which is helping that favoring of one side over the other. I'm starting to find a little more center here, and I just feel a little more balanced and centered on my mat. We're going to add on from here. Arms are going to come up to the ceiling. Take an inhale and feel your rib cage expand east to west, and maybe some air goes into the back body. And then exhale, just hug everything together. Find that imaginary center line. Inhale, breathe into your rib cage, and exhale, draw it back in. This last time we'll find that inhale east to west into the back body. On your next exhale, the arms float by your hips and you lift your head, neck, and shoulders up. Now, did you lose that lift in the lower back here? Did your spine change position? Drop that tailbone, reach it long. Keep that little lift in your lower back. The front body is working that scoop like you've got a metal ice cream scooper that's gone through your center for 3, 2, 1. Lower down with control. Take an inhale. Exhale, you crease at your breastbone to rise. You feel that deep scoop through your center to come up. Now hold. Imagine you have like a metal bar right at your breastbone. Think of hooking your ribs up and over that bar to deepen your scoop. You draw higher from the deepening of that scoop in the front, not from throwing the shoulders forward or throwing your neck forward. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Lower down with control. Very exciting stuff. We're going to do that 2 more times and start to add on. I'm so glad you think it's cool. I think it's pretty cool too. I'm such a geek for how all these little details really come together in a really powerful way. Here we go. Take an inhale. Exhale, we curl up and hold. Final time here. Now keep your collarbones wide. As you lengthen your collarbones east to west, feel that hook and almost like you're curling through your shoulders. So your shoulders don't round with you. They kind of open and create an entryway for you to curl through. One more breath here and lower down. Now we add that little side bending element. We're going to mix it up. Take an inhale. Exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Float the arms by your hips. Now without shifting in the hips, lengthen through your left side, crunch your right side as you reach your fingertips towards your hips. Now my hip points did not lift side to side. I'm lengthening one side and contracting another side and transition to the other side. So you see, my hips don't move. So it's that isolation of my center, shifting side to side, keeping the collarbones wide. Let's go 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Lower down. We're going to try that again. Take an inhale. Option here if you'd like. Legs can come to tabletop for a little bit more of a challenge. Knees over hips, shins parallel to the floor. On your next exhale, we lift up and now we shifty shift. Slide and slide. It's a little harder to keep the pelvis stable with the legs lifted. And slide. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Hug your knees into your chest, everyone. Rock yourself side to side. So, because I took a very challenging class yesterday, my core is feeling a little weak and tired. And so I'm noticing in my Pilates curl or my chest lift position that my neck is taking a little more load than I would like. It also takes a lot of load when my hair's in a ponytail because my hair's so thick. It's a weird problem I have. So, as you rock around on your mat, if it's so true, I know I need a haircut when my hair is like pulling myself backwards. It's pretty crazy. It's a weird little quirk of my ponytail. Um, so I'm taking a little bit of load in my neck today, which isn't good. So I may lower my head, neck, and shoulders down today. Or, oh, thank you very much. So I've been really enjoying, I've never been a blonde before, so, or I had blonde hair before, but I'm really enjoying it. So I think I'm going to keep it for a while. So if you start to take the load in your neck, lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. There's a couple of reasons why you might be taking load in your neck. It could be because you're tired, like me, or you're new to Pilates and you're still building your core strength, and because of the lack of core strength, our body will compensate in different areas, so the neck might take more load than it should. Another reason is that you're not accessing your center enough. So that cue of that ice cream scoop position, you really want to think of the front body doing the work. You're curling up from your abs, not from your neck. And so I like to think of it too as a order of operations. So even though I say head, neck, and shoulders curl up on your exhale, what's really happening is what I'm really saying is when I say head, neck, and shoulders are curling up, the curl starts from your center. So your abs engage first, and that scoop initiates the curl of your head, neck, and shoulders up. So even though I'm saying head, neck, and shoulders curl up, I don't necessarily mean that in a certain connotation, which is really interesting. So we want to find that engage of the center first and really find that work in the front body to help draw you up and keep you up and keep the back of the neck long and soft. So the curl position is very difficult, and it's the first thing that you learn and the first thing that you do in classical Pilates mat. It's not an easy position, but it's a foundational exercise foundational movement that's going to carry into everything else that we do. Alrighty. Okay, I think we're back in action. That was a stellar stage crew switch. All right. If anyone's still here, let me know if you can hear me now. I'm also going to check as well. Don't we love live, the spontaneity of things that go wrong in live streams? Let's see. I can see me. Oh, yay. All right. I'm back in action. Thank you for your patience. Devin, I don't know if you're still there, but thank you for saving the day. I would have continued on without knowing. All right, we're back in action. That was a stage crew change. All right, cool. Well, you got an extended break because of that. Hopefully my sound is loud enough. Cool, cool. All right, so we're just going to jump back in. Very exciting stuff. That's show business. I had one stream a couple weeks ago where it felt like every 5 minutes my doorbell kept ringing and it just wouldn't stop. Super quiet. Let's try that. How is that? Fabulous. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for your help. Yeah, so things go wrong all the time. That one stream that I was doing, it was like every 5 minutes, the doorbell was just, the doorbell kept ringing and I was by myself and I had to keep answering it. I didn't know what was going on. It was wild, but luckily I have a backup mic, so stage crew switch. And yes, thank you, Devin, for saving the day. This would have been like a silent movie Pilates class. That would have been interesting. Maybe that's something we do one day. Cos Pilates silent movie edition. All right, so we just talked a lot about curls, Pilates curls. Scooty, scoot, scoot. So now we're going to add on. So we did our thing. We're all going to meet in tabletop now, like so. So knees over hips, shins parallel to the floor. This position doesn't look like much. If you do it correctly, it's a lot more challenging. So there's a difference between the legs being here, so the knees are not over the hips, and there's a difference between bringing your knees over your hips. So when you slide your legs forward and bring it into that true L-shaped position, that neutral spine has to stay in place, and that front body has to work really hard, aka your abs, to keep yourself in that position. So we're going to begin working a little more, warming up the body. So from here, arms come up to the ceiling. On your next exhale, we find that curl of the head, neck, and shoulders up, keeping the legs where they are. So don't bring the legs in, keep them where they are. Now from here, we're going to try that shifty shift one more time. So slide the body and shift. So now we all are joined up here. So really get that isolation through your center. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the arm, lower the upper body, keep the legs where they are. On your next exhale, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up and hold. Now from here, as you slide your right arm long, the left leg is going to just slide to a high diagonal. Now we're adding a little extra element here of coordination. So you just slide your shin along an imaginary wall. So we're not going too high or too low. But now as the leg moves, we want to keep the hips in place. Let's do 2 more. Just getting a little length through the legs. That was your last one. Lower down. Rock and roll. Let's move into the 100. We're going to give our side body a little bit of a, I don't think I can call that a break because we're doing the 100. The 100's not a break. The 100 is technically the first exercise that you do in the classical system. If you've ever read one of Joseph Pilates' books, it's the first exercise in the system. It's insane that it's the first exercise that you do. But it's designed to be a full body warm-up to kick off your mat movement series. Nonetheless, it's insane. And he was also totally a crazy man. So this all tracks. So from here, let's bring our feet heels together, toes apart in a Pilates stance. So your toes are going to point to 11 and 1 on the clock. We're not in the Russian ballet. No need to be incredibly turned out here. You're just going to be at a small V at 11 and 1 on the clock. Get that tailbone down. And we're just going to extend the legs to the ceiling. Soft point of the feet. I don't care if the legs go straight. We're going to aim for straight today as we move through this bend and straighten of the legs. So knees stay over your hips. So that might mean that they don't go perfectly to 90 degrees. That's okay. I want you to think about the core connection to your long legs and your neutral spine connection to your long legs. Let's do 2 more here. This last time we're going to keep the legs straight and hold. Now, if they don't go straight, a diamond of the legs is totally valid. I still want you to keep those heels together, toes apart though. That connection to the inner leg. So from here, arms come up to the ceiling. We begin our 100, curling the head, neck, and shoulders up, floating the arms by your hips. You start to pump your arms up and down. Inhale and exhale. And then we do this 10 times. Don't worry, I'm going to distract you the whole time so it doesn't feel as crazy. So to advance this, legs can start to lower. As long as you are able to maintain your scoop and maintain your neutral position, the legs can go as low as you'd like them to. But it's all about maintaining that rhythm of the pumping, that engagement of the back, so that we're not overarching or over dumping into our lower back. We're maintaining that scoop from the chest, and we're breathing somehow. Inhale and exhale. Let's do 2 more because Pilates math has deviations. Last time. And exhale. Hug your knees into your chest and lower down. Rock yourself side to side. There's a joke that Pilates instructors don't know how to count. It's not an incorrect statement. I like to describe it as Pilates math. It's got deviations. All right, let's rock up to seated and let's do our roll up. One of my favorite exercises. And we're going to add on a little side body and twisting moment, since that's what our theme is today. So same thing with roll up. If you can't get the legs straight, a bend of the knees is fine. We want to start with a long flat back here. So if your legs are straight and you find that you're sitting a little further back by your tailbone or you're rounding the spine, I want you to feel a lot of lift up and away from the floor. We don't want to feel like gravity is forcing us down or we're bearing down into the mat. We want to feel nice and lifted. All right, let's rock and roll down. Ha ha ha. Here we go. So arms are going to be long in front. If this is your first time or you're working on your roll up, hands can also come to your thighs. Just make sure that your shoulders are nice and open and you're practicing good posture. I will demo both. So from here, we're going to start. Keeping the upper body nice and lifted, start to draw your abs back and start to create a little bit of a bowl with your pelvis. So I'm reaching my abs back so that my lower back starts to hit the mat first. We're going down bone by bone. Now you'll notice my C curve shape here. I want to find more of a C from my waist, not from the rounding of my shoulders. There's a difference between this and a difference here in this position. So we want to almost feel like the upper body slides backwards as we lower the spine down bone by bone. Now we come up. Keep those legs zipped together, flex your toes towards your face. On your next exhale, come through your curl position and then think of that scoop lifting up and over to stack all the way up to tall. We're going to do that 3 more times. You're going to round back. If holding on to the thighs, you want to advance it, you remove the arms, palms face down, keeping the arms parallel to the floor as you round up. Let's dive forward, find that deep scoop here, and then take it all the way back. If you want more of a challenge, you have 2 more times. Arms stay by your ears, curl up. So biceps frame your face. So now you get a little bit less of an oppositional pull forward. 1 more time, exhale. Oof, I feel this from yesterday. And slowly take it all the way down. All right. Option to roll up or rock yourself up to seated. Now we add our side bending, twisting, rolling around situation. I really need a haircut, holy moly. My ponytail is so heavy. I don't know how Ariana Grande ever did it. Like, I've always had thick hair and ponytails are hard for me. And I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she still has hair that grows out of her head. It's truly magic. I don't know how she doesn't have chronic migraines. I would love to just interview her and ask her questions about the ponytail era and how she survived that, because I really want to know. I'm so curious. All right. Sitting up straight. Now we add a little twist side bend number. Arms are going to come forward, so we're all going to meet here. You can always take a bend to the knees. You're going to twist your rib cage so that you're looking slightly over your right leg or your right side. Now we're going to roll down only until our shoulder blade touches the mat, and then reach to come back up. Roll down. Try and keep your hips square. So the rib cage is turning, but the hip stays down. 1 more time. Come up, and then we go to the other side. Roll down just to the tip of the blade, and come up. This is my harder side, trying to keep that right hip down. So I'm thinking of heavying that hip bone down towards the mat. 2 more times. Lower back, middle back, upper back, scoop to lift. Last time. Come back through center, drop forward. Take a little stretch over your legs. Just drop the head. The weight of my ponytail gives me an extra stretch. And then come out of that stretch, circle your arms behind you. Opposition, take a little extension. Drop the head back if that feels good. Walk the hands back. Open the chest, open your heart. Open your heart to me, baby. Any Madonna fans in the crowd? I also have on mute right now the live stream of the Pokemon European Internationals, the TCG. Very exciting stuff. I've learned a lot watching the live streams, and I love what Pokemon does with the live streams and the competition, so they're always really cool to have on. Anybody play? Anybody care about Tord probably winning the European Championships? All right, roll up, done. Let's come back down to our back, and we're gonna do a little single leg circle twisty stretch. So left leg's gonna come long, right leg's gonna come into your chest. Hands come behind your thigh. Thigh, calf, or ankle. Depends on where your flexibility is today. Sometimes I can grab my foot. This morning, that's not going to happen for me, which is totally fine. We're going to start with a little stretch of the leg. So hands are going to come behind your thigh or your calf or your ankle. And I want you to see how close the thigh can come to your chest without changing your spinal position. So there's a difference between this and this, right? So stopping here and coming here. So I want you to think about how your abs help you do that, how your abs move your leg closer to your body. We're going to think about that as we straighten the leg up to the ceiling and bend it back in. And straighten and bend, trying to keep the hips square. Sometimes I like to bring one hand to my unruly hip to make sure that they stay in place. This time we're going to lift it up and hold. So right leg is up to the ceiling. You're going to take your left hand, bring it to the outside of your right leg, or you can grab the foot. We're going to take it across the body a little and bring it back through center. Across a little and bring it back through center. Can you take the leg across without lifting the hips or shifting the hips? 2 more times, because that's what we're going to do in our circle last time. Now we switch hands, either to the outside of the leg or it comes to the foot. The leg slides out, hips don't move. Leg slides out a little or a lot, and bring it in. 2 more times. Last time. Now lift the leg up, bring both hands to your leg, give it 1 more pull, draw your abs in and up, release your hands, keep the leg up to the ceiling. Now we take our circle across, hip stays down, around, hips don't move, period. We're moving that leg in the hip socket, that ball and socket joint. 1 more in this direction, and now reverse your circle. Out, around, try and kick dust off of that left shoulder. Cross around and lift up. 1 more time. Bend that knee into your chest. Take it across your body for your well-deserved supine twist. Wow. What a morning. It's morning here. Is it morning where you all are today? Tonight? The space-time continuum? Oh, I'm very worried about this last 2 hours of rebirth. There's I don't know if it's time travel, AUs, I don't know what's going on, but I'm a little worried about it. Come back through center, and we'll switch legs. All right, hand comes behind your leg. Lengthen it up to the ceiling and bring it back in. Let's do it 3 more times. 2 more times. Last time. Keep it up to the ceiling. Give it a little extra pull. Let it feel good. And now we take the right hand to the outside of the left leg. We take it a little over and bring it back. And a little over and bring it back. This can feel spicy. That's okay. Let's do 1 more. And now we switch. Out a little, checking in with that hip. Don't let it lift, right? Out, so that side body has to work. 1 more time. 1 final pull with both hands. Release the leg. Take it across, around and up. Inhale, across, around. Exhale, lift up. 1 more time in this direction, and then we gotta reverse. 2, are you breathing? Last time. Leg comes in, take it across your body, supine twist. In your twist, you want to make sure that the shoulder stays down. So as you reach the leg across the body, the shoulders stay down and square to the ceiling. That's where you get that twist. And to deepen the twist, it's less about pulling the leg further away and more about breathing deeply into the stretch. As you breathe into your twist, everything starts to expand. You get a little bit extra space. Let your breath help you. All right, come back through center. Hug your knees into your chest. Let's take one hand on top of each knee, do a little circle in the hip joint, and reverse your circle. So next we have the series of 5, the ab series. It's known as a lot of different things. This one is really working our Pilates curl position. So we talked a lot about that before. So that scoop from the center, that ice cream scoop, that well-deserved ice cream that Devin should have today. Thinking about scooping and holding from the front of the body and not throwing it into the neck. So we're going to work our curl. We're going to add a lot of different types of choreography here. And we're going to add in some more of that side bend focus. So get excited. I don't know if this coffee is helping or hurting. When is it too much coffee? Is there such a thing as too much caffeine? All right. From here, let's do it. Someone's asking me about rebirth. I'm sorry, I have to answer immediately. All right, here we go. Single leg stretch. Single leg stretch, double leg stretch, scissors, lower lift, crisscross. Those are all of our exercises. And here we go. From here, on your next exhale, you'll curl your head, neck, and shoulders up and hold. Now from here, your hands come to your right leg. Left leg is going to stretch long. Now get that tailbone down. Leg can stay higher up or can float closer to the ground for more of a challenge. What we just did in single leg circle, how does the core draw your legs in towards you? Now from here, you switch the legs without moving the upper body. And switch the legs. And switch the legs. And switch the legs. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Now from here, switch and hold. You're going to take your right hand off. Left hand's going to stay on. Can you twist up a little higher with the help of your hand? Come back through center, twist. Keep your right hand on. Reach your left leg long. Twist up and hold. And here we go. Twist and lift. Twist and lift. Twist and lift, just last time. Lower down. All right, double leg stretch. Personal fave. It's one of my favorite exercises. I just think it's fun, but I don't know if anyone agrees with me, so we'll see about that. On your next exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. As you stretch your arms to frame your face, your legs stretch long away from you, either up or lower. And then bring everything back in. Your curl doesn't change. Easier said than done, I know. Here we go. And stretch. And bring it in. And stretch. Hug that center line. One more time. And lower down. We're going to add a little side situation here. So we're going to reverse our arms. On your next exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. This time, instead of the arms coming behind you, they're going to shoot forward on top of your thighs. Turn to the right, turn to the left, center, bring it in. Just 2 more times. Stretch out long. Turn to the right, turn to the left, center, bring it in. Last time, stretch. To the right, to the left, center, bring it in. You're done. Spicy, spicy. Scissors, we're just going to keep that nice and simple because, boy, do I have a surprise for the grand finale. You are going to bring your legs to the ceiling, grabbing behind your thighs, calves, or ankles. Now, we don't want the tailbone to lift. Keep the tailbone down. If that means you have to grab behind your thigh instead of grabbing your ankle, that's a better position. Head, neck, and shoulders are going to curl up. Leg is going to drop as low as you'd like for a challenge. We're going to pulse that leg in twice and switch, and switch, and switch. Really be mindful of the transition. We want to control it. You should be able to do this without the help of your hands. So if I remove my hands, I'm still getting 2 pulses here. That's the goal that we're working towards. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees in, lower down. This scissor's going to come back in a little bit. But first we have a lower lift to do. Lower lift. And we're going to add a little bit of a corkscrew action to this. We're going to bring that in as well. Corkscrew is when we take our single leg circle and make it a double leg circle on the ceiling. All right, here we go. We'll meet with our hands stacked, one on top of the other, behind the nape of your neck. Why do we stack the hands? It's because when we interlace the hands, it's easy to kind of just use the arms to keep us up in our curl. It's a way to make sure that we're using our abs to stay up. It's also harder, and I'm also pretty set on the idea that Joseph Pilates was like, what's the hardest way to do these things? Let's do it that way. So I feel like he was kind of out to get us in that way. So here we go. Legs are going to come to tabletop, bent up to the ceiling, wherever works for you today. Keep the weight of the head in your hands to deepen the scoop from your center. So put a little bit more of that weight of your head in your hands, but keep your elbows wide. Now from here, the legs are going to lower to 45 degrees, or they can go lower as long as you can keep the spine in neutral, and then lift the legs up, and then lower, and lift. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Last time, lift, bend your knees in, lower down. Holy moly. For whatever reason, we're going to add on. Why? I don't know. You don't have to join me. But if you'd like, here we go. Legs are going to come up to the ceiling. Boop. You're going to curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Lower the legs to 45 degrees or lower. As you lift up, twist your armpit towards your right knee. Come back through center, lower. And as you lift up, twist. And lower. And twist. Just 3 more times, because this is insane. What was I thinking? And down. That was a little nuts. All right. Grand finale with crisscross. Feet come down for a moment. We still keep the hands stacked behind our heads. Elbows can be in your periphery. We just don't want the elbows to be completely folded towards your face. So from here, our crisscross. Crisscross can look like this, which looks familiar. We may have heard the cue, elbow to knee. I want you to think armpit to knee. Armpit to knee requires not just a twist in your rib cage, but also a lift up off of that bottom shoulder blade. And that's what really activates your deep obliques. It also prevents your shoulders from getting thrown out of whack. I find that when you do elbow to knee, the shoulders get really unruly and kind of move in all the places that we don't necessarily want them to go if we want to practice good posture and things like that. So we're going to think armpit to knee. Same thing as we were talking about with all of our side bending and twisting. Hips don't move, so they're not going to do a little dance. The upper body does a little dance. So the hips stay nice down and square to the ceiling. All right, we're going to do 2 sets, spicy and spicier. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Bend your knees into your chest. Armpit to knee, twist, and twist and lift. Think of a twist and then a lift up towards the leg, and twist. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1. Now straighten both legs. We go scissor, and scissor, and scissor. Keep that tailbone down. For 4, 3, 2, 1. We're done with that. Holy moly. Rock yourself up to seated. Oh, that was so much front body. That was crazy. What was I thinking? That was crazy. I hope you're still there with me. So we're going to go out of order because you all deserve some swan extension after all of that flexion and all of that work in the front. We're going to swing around and lie down on our stomachs in a prone position. I like to say when I teach, lie down in a prone position, because saying lying down on your stomach, I feel like is a very different vibe. So if I say like come to a prone position, I feel like it looks more like that. If I say lie down on your stomach, it feels like it's giving this. Blah. I don't know. What do you think? But more people know lie down on your stomach than prone. Prone is on your stomach, supine's on your back. You don't have to be that scientific. Sometimes I find it a little pretentious when I'm in class and it's like, lie down in a transverse, I don't know. It's like, what's going on? I'm in anatomy class. It's cool for me because I'm a geek for that stuff, but it's also like, what's going on? All right, so we're gonna do some swan. Now for swan, when we lie down in that prone position on our stomach, see what I did there? You have a couple of options. Legs can stay as wide as the mat, or they can zip together. The closer the legs are together, the more challenging this is for the posterior chain. The posterior chain is your entire backside. So it's also more likely if you are new or are, challenging yourself, you might feel this a little more in your lower back. And with extension exercises, we never want our lower back to fire on. So if you start to feel your lower back start to engage or work in a way that doesn't feel right, or you feel pain, you're gonna take your legs as wide as the mat. I always recommend you start with the legs wide and then start to play with narrowing them. So entirely up to you. You have options. All right, so for our swan, we're gonna start without a prep because you deserve a stretchy swan. You're gonna lie down. Your hands are gonna come underneath your armpits. And we're not chickens, we're swans. So the elbows are gonna come together close to the rib cage. I'm gonna narrow my legs because I'm feeling that a little bit. All right, from here, find your center on the mat. Forehead comes down. On your next exhale, without pressing into your hands, I want you to lift your head and chest up into your swan, keeping the elbows glued to your sides. Lift your navel and your waist away from the mat and feel your pubic bone press down towards the floor. I want you to feel the lower back getting long here. Swan is more about the upper back working, the lower back is just stabilizing. Now from here, you can press into your hands, keep that lift and engagement in your center, and come up as high as you'd like. We want the hips to stay down and the abs to stay lifted. So what we don't want to do is shrug the shoulders, find that U shape in the body. This actually kind of hurts my lower back. So we want to find that think long diagonal spine and less of a U shape when we find our swan here. Now think that your breastbone is reaching through your shoulders as you lower down. There's some length here as you lower. Take an inhale. Exhale, we lift up, engage the upper back and the abs, and then find some light press into the arms to come up a little higher. And then reach to lower down. Your arms may work a little bit here. Exactly. On your next exhale, we lift up. This ponytail is so heavy today. And then lift up. Now from here, let's add a little neck roll. You're gonna look to the right, circle your gaze down and around to the left, and come center. Lower all the way down. When we lift up in the next one, we'll reverse that. Lift up into your swan, first engaging your abs and upper back, and then press up a little higher. This time we look to the left, circle down and around to the right, center, and lower down. Press yourself back, find a child's pose. Whatever feels good, you can zip the legs together. You can keep them wide. You can bend at the elbows. I find I get a little extra tricep stretch. You can keep the arms long. You got so many options here, so find what feels good. All right, we got our stretch. It's back to work. Single leg kicks and side planks and planks. It's plank time. Remember when planking was that internet thing where you just go and like plank on things? Do people still do that? Or is that aging me? How long ago was that? I don't even know. Anyway, let me know if you know. So single leg kicks. You're going to give yourself a little fist bump. And you're going to present your knuckles to the front edge of your mat. You're going to get a major wrist stretch here. And this is something I personally also really need because I've been spending a lot of time at my computer. Elbows are going to be under your shoulders. Legs are zipped together long behind you. Now, same thing here. We don't want to chill out and watch Netflix. Want you to push the mat away, find that long diagonal spine, abs up off the mat, hips down. So that long diagonal spine. From this position, you're going to take your right leg, flex the heel, and then 2 times hamstring curl, kick, kick deeper and deeper towards your booty and lower down. And kick, kick, and lower. Kick, kick, and lower. Kick, kick, and lower. 3 more sets. So the upper body stays nice and stable, nice and long and engaged. Last set here. Last time. Now, from here, you're going to take your hands, splay the fingers, forearms pressed down into the mat, curl your toes under, lift up, find a forearm plank. We're just going to hold here for 10, 8, 6, 4, look at that, so fast. 1, lower, on, down. Shake it on out. We set back up our single leg kicks. Adding on, now we go a little faster. Kick, kick, and kick, 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 and kick, kick. Get 2 distinct kicks each time. For 4, and 3, and 2, last time. Now from here, we're going to tuck the toes under. You're going to take your right hand, spiral it towards the long edge of your mat, press up into a side plank, either with this cross position or you can come to your stack here. And we'll hold for 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1. With control, come back through center, lower down. All right. Level 3, here we go. Instead of a flexed foot, we're going to remove the kicks and go flex point with the foot. So there's a kick there, my bad. Flex point with the foot. A little extra coordination as we kick in. So here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Flex point and lower, flex point and lower, flex point and lower. If this is hard, that's the point. It's supposed to be a little fun as well. For 4, and 3, and 2, last time. All right, from here, we spin that left arm down, lift up into your side plank, either with the legs crossed or stacked, and here we go for 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, done. Lower, down. Woohoo! All right. Find a quick child's pose. Sit on back. Stretch it out. We're going to go a little longer today. Started late and had a technical difficulty. We love that. Stretch out your wrists a little bit. Alrighty. So from here, we are going to do a little side kick series and then do some spine stretch and soa to transition, a little teaser front support, and then we're done. Exciting stuff. All right. So we're going to start lying down. You're going to line up with the back edge of your mat. in a perfect straight line. So today, I'm going to let you lie on your bicep like a pillow. It's the only nice thing I can provide with this variation because it's going to get a little spicy. So, lining up in a perfect straight line at the back edge of your mat. Thinking about our hips. Tendency might want to be to do something like this, a little shifty-shifty. We want to find the stack of the hips one on top of the other. That balance point is going to require our core to fire on to help us find some stability. I want you to think of reaching that top leg longer over the bottom leg so that the hips come into alignment. So from any angle, the hips are stacked one on top of the other. So what we don't want is something like that, or something shifty-shifty, or even something where we have that contraction of the side and we have kind of this alignment of the hips. So we want to find that long line here. All right. Keeping that nice long engaged line, this top hand can come softly to support the front of your chest. We don't want to be fully reliant on it. Point your toes. And we're going to do what I call the floppy fish. That is not the name of this, but that's what we call it here on this channel. So, feet are going to lift up, trying to stay balanced, and lower. You're sandwiched between two panes of glass. And lift, and lower. Last time, and lower. Now the upper body lifts up a little, and lower. Holy moly, I know. Lift up, and lower. For 2. Last time. Now both at the same time. Floppy fish. Up and lower. For 3. 2. Last time. From here, you can keep resting on your bicep like a pillow, or you can bend at the elbow and support your head like so. Feet are going to slide to the front of the mat, and we're going to keep it real classic here. Top leg's going to lift up with the flex foot. You swing, kick it front twice. Point, reach it back behind you. Don't lose the stack of the hips. 2 more times. Kick, kick. And point, reach. 1 more time. And point, reach. Now from here, flex the foot. Bring it to a hover. Reach it, lift it up without shifting the hips. Lower down, tap. Keep it flexed today. And lower. Keep that reach of the leg. You scoop to lift. And lower. Last time. This time leg comes to a hover. Little ping pong ball size circles with the heel for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse your circle. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. That's it. Bend your knees. That's it. Sarah, what do you mean that's it? We're going to come to sit and do our spine stretch and saw as our transition. So legs are going to open slightly wider than the mat. We want to sit up nice and tall. So same thing. If you feel like you can't sit up on your sits bones, those bony landmarks in your booty, take a bend of the knees. I'd rather you be here and nice and tall than here and we're slouching. Defeats the purpose of the exercise. So find that lifted position. Create space between your ribs and your waist. Excuse me, your ribs and your hips to create more waist space. That's what I meant. There we go. Come on, coffee. What are we doing in there? Take an inhale. Reach your arms long in front of you. On your next exhale, drop your head. Lift your abs up. Slide and dive into your spine stretch position. Now, I don't want you to sink towards the floor. I want you to feel a lot of lift up, even as you dive forward. Think of this as like a seated roll-up. Now, from here, we stack the spine one on top of the other. Head's the last thing to come up. Take an inhale. Exhale, slide and dive. And stack all the way up. Let's do 2 more. Keep reaching the arms long. Collarbones are nice and wide. That really requires those ribs to lift up and away. Takes the work out of the shoulders, brings it into the abs and the powerhouse to create that scoop. Now from here, let's bring the hands to the shoulders, keeping the elbows nice and lifted. Just the rib cage is going to twist to the right and center. Twist to the left and center and twist and center and twist and center. This time we twist. Take your left arm, stretch it long, saw off your pinky toe with your pinky finger. Come up in your twist and center. Twist, dive, keep that twist. Think of those ribs twisting towards the side. Come up and center. Twist at the waist. And center last time. And center. Zip your legs together. Roll all the way down to the mat. And we bring in our corkscrew. So arms are going to be long by your side. Legs come into your tabletop position or up to the ceiling. I'll demo both. So for our corkscrew, we get to do a little hip lift this time. Isn't that crazy? We're doing the thing I said to not do all class. We're going to do a little tick-tock. So I'm going to go to the left so you can see what happens with my body. You're going to tick-tock your legs to the left, and you can see that my hip lifts up, but my shoulders don't. And then I draw the legs back through center. That's your tick-tock. So you lift the hips, but the shoulders stay down, so we work that twist. It's kind of like that twist stretch that we did before. You need to use that side body to bring the legs back to center. Let's try 2 more like that. And bring it in. Last time. And bring it in. Let's do 4 more. Bring the legs over. Now check your toes or your knees. Are they aligned? If not, get them aligned. You might need to lift one hip a little higher. Keep the toes aligned on the same plane. And bring it back in. 2 more. Draw it back in with your obliques. Last time. Draw it back in. Bend your knees in. Woo. All right, it's time to go the other side. I'm going to twist around so you can see me, so you're not seeing my back. All right. We're going to start with floppy fish. Wow. All right. Here we go. Who needs weights when you have a thick ponytail on your head? Can't get over how heavy my ponytail feels today. All right, so that long line at the back edge of the mat, we're hanging out. Not for long though. Keep reaching that hip long. Similar to corkscrew, right? So you can kind of see, this is when I'm not finding any length or engagement. You can see how much shorter this top leg is. Want to find that reach. That's what we're looking for. Point the toes because we're fancy. You're going to lift your legs up and lower down. And lift and lower. Just 2 more times. We don't do a lot of reps in Pilates. Now upper body 4 times. Less is more. Less and correct is more. Last 2. I think that was correct. Pilates math. Floppy fish. Here we go. Everything up and down. For 3. And 2. Last time. All righty. Swing those legs front. Stack your hand up if you'd like. We go classic leg series. Kick, kick, point, reach it back. Same thing. We don't want the body to move. Hips stay stacked. It's like, oh, this is fun. And then Sarah has to throw all this technique in it to make it not as fun. Flex the foot, lift it up. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to make things harder and make you think. But it's supposed to be fun. I think it's fun. I hope you think it's fun too. Let's draw a little circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse your circle. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Woof. All right. Bend your knees in. Shake it out. I'm addicted to coffee, and I'm almost done with this. It's teaser time. We gotta do some teasers. Fun fact, for my Wii Fit Trainer performance, I was trying to incorporate a teaser, but I wasn't sure what the quality of the stage was going to be. I couldn't remember from the year prior when I performed if the stage was going to be soft enough to do a teaser, because I don't want to bruise my back. I like my squishy Pilates mat. Pilates mat. Oh my goodness. Someone can't speak today. Speaking of mats, Pilates mats, they're a little different from yoga mats. You probably noticed my mat looks a little thicker. This is a Pilates mat. It's about a half an inch thick. I'm sorry, I don't know the metric system because America, sadly, they didn't really teach me in school, and they should have. I'm really paying for it now, but I will try and learn the metric system at some point. It's kind of important. Half an inch thick. It's nice and squishy. It's great for rolling and being on your back and doing spinal. Hi, Mary. Hi, Kenshin's girl. Thanks for joining. We're in the final round of class here, so we're gonna do some harder stuff. Just talking about Pilates mats. So thick, squishy, half an inch thick. Like I said, I'll promise to learn the metric system at some point. School kind of failed me in that way, but there's a difference between these mats. So I highly recommend purchasing a Pilates mat. I use it for Pilates, but I also use it for a lot of other things. It's great for stretching. It's also great when you have to get underneath your bed and pull things out and you need cushion for your knees. So this is a great household item just to have. So yeah, I love my Pilates mat. I've had this one for a long time. I spent a little more money on this one because I teach, but also I've had it for a couple years and it still looks really, really good. But anyway, I'm distracting you from teasers. So teasers, what the heck are they? You know those Pilates ads where you're in like that V shape and everyone's like smiling and happy because they love Pilates? That's a teaser. It's called a teaser, not because of how it looks, but because of how you do it and the action of it. So we're gonna go through that why right now. So we're going to start with a level 1 teaser, and then we're going to work our way up to more advanced. 4, you get to pick where you stop advancing and just continue the reps on the one that you want to challenge and work on today. 4 reps, we make them good, we challenge ourselves, and it's going to be fun. I hope it's fun. Let me know if you think it's fun. All right, how are you, Kenshin's girl? Kenshin's girl does really awesome streams and is a Final Fantasy uber fan like myself. Gonna finish Rebirth today, I promise. All right, so teaser. Legs are gonna start in tabletop. Knees over hips. You should already feel a lot of reach here in this position. A lot of center of gravity's a little further towards the front of your mat. Use that to help you get up. We're going to start with the hands behind the thighs. Keep a soft bend of the elbows. On your next exhale, I want you to find your Pilates curl position, that head, neck, and shoulders that scoop up. Now keep that position. Press your legs and hands into each other and start to roll up, deepen your scoop to come to a balance just behind those bony landmarks in your booty, those sits bones. Now, you keep your waist drawing back in that C-curve shape, but the difference between teaser and roll-up is that your chest will open at the top. So, I don't know why that looks so dramatic. There we go. So, my chest is nice and open at the top, but I'm drawing my waist back. So I have to use my center to find that balance. Now here's the teaser part. The legs stay where they are. You slowly roll down with control. You tease your way down. And that's where the teaser part comes in. It's on the dismount. So you take your time on the roll down. And so you tease the audience. You're like, I'm not going to crash down. I'm going to roll down nice and controlled. I teased you. So you can continue to do this with the legs, with the hands holding the backs of the legs. Or next round, arms come up to the ceiling. Legs can stay in tabletop. On your next exhale, we come through our curl. Feel that reach towards your toes. Draw your waist back and then open your chest at the top. Keep that reach for your toes as you roll down. Tease your way down. How slow can you go? Look at all the ab control I have. Hug your knees into your chest. We have 2 more. Next version is legs long. Long to a high diagonal. If you're like, Sarah, no way today. You keep the legs at tabletop. I'm going to go 45 degrees. This is the one exercise where you want to keep the legs at 45 degrees. You can't really do a teaser if your legs come all the way down there. It's not a teaser. It's like a weird floating roll up. So legs are going to go to 45 degrees. It's also going to create that runway of reach to help you get up. So arms up to the ceiling, legs to 45 degrees. You come through your curl. Now keep your arms parallel to your legs. Reach for your toes and open your chest at the top. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Keep that as you roll down. Legs stay where they are, holy moly. And then hug it in. Talking and doing that is a completely different exercise. There's just doing it, and then there's talking and doing it at the same time. Final round. We do a full V up in a way, where arms and legs come up at the same time, fold up like a book. That reach is really important here. That constant reach, that chase for the toes, that helps you get up. And that engagement of your center, that scoop of the front of the body. All right, here we go. Take an inhale. Exhale, we find your curl. Now lift the legs, reach for your toes, lift everything up at once. Find your sharp V, hold for 3, 2, 1. Tease your way down. This time you take the legs with you. Everything lowers at the same time. Wow, we're done with that. Flop your way up to seated. Go take a nap, just kidding. We have one more thing we have to do. We have to do our front support. Why we have to call it this and not planks, I don't know. I do like the name front support. I think it's a better descriptive term for the plank. Like it describes the function of it and the why of it more. Plank is a good visual for it. So I like both of them together. But yeah, I don't know, why can't we just all use the same word sometimes? Because it's annoying. There are planking exercises on other Pilates apparatus where it's a plank, but it also has another word. So we have several different terms for how we describe planks and front supports. It's wild. I don't know why. Sometimes I interchange them when I shouldn't. It's not good. It's fine. All right. Anyway, front support. What is that? It's kind of like a Pilates sun salutation if you're a yogi. It's kind of like a Pilates burpee if you know, if you like burpees, if you do burpees, if you know what burpees are. Does anyone like burpees? I don't think anyone does. I did a burpee in my performance, and I regret it. So, it's going to consist of planks and push-ups. We're also going to incorporate a little side plank because we've been kind of playing with that theme today. So we're going to start in a quadruped position, all fours position, with the toes tucked under to start. Now, shoulders stay over your wrists. We're going to slide our right leg back, and then we're going to bring our left leg back to meet it. We're going to find that Pilates stance, that heels together, toes apart position in our plank front support. Slightly different from maybe what you're used to. Really find that midline, press the floor away, and we're just going to hold this plank for 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, we lift the hips, find a down dog position, pike the hips. Kind of looks like our teaser. Now from here, you walk your hands back to meet your feet and find a forward fold. You can kind of see the sun salutation burpee inspo from this. I love phantom tap vibrations on my phone. We love that. Drop the head, let it feel good. And then from here, slowly roll all the way up to tall. Think of this like a standing roll up. So draw your shoulders back, find that C-curve shape through your center, and stack all the way up to tall. And then we got to go back down. Bring your arms up to the ceiling. Take an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Think of this like your roll up. Deep scoop of the center. Wow. Maybe your hands touch the floor, maybe they don't. It's all good. There's no Pilates Olympics. We're not competing against anyone. Walk your hands back out into your plank position. From here, we're going to move into a side plank. You're going to take your right hand, bring it underneath your face, spin either to stack the feet or to offset them into your side plank. Hand can come to your hip or up to the ceiling. We're just going to hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back through center and we'll switch to the other side. Hand, flip ski. And we hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back through center. Find your plank first and then pike your hips up. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. My left side is a little weaker because I had a shoulder injury and hasn't quite been the same. So working on stability for that side is really important. Roll all the way up to tall. This final one, you can either do push-ups or do the side planks. I might do a little bit of both because I'll just show you everything, but you get to choose. I have to do all of it. On your next exhale, find your forward fold. Walk your hands out. So either take 4 push-ups here, or you're going to find your side plank. We're going to hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back through center, and then switch to the other side. Hold for 4, 3. After your push-ups, you're just holding this plank because we still have 4 more seconds to hold this plank for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pike your hips up to the ceiling. Walk your hands back. Meet your feet. Drop your head. Shake it out. Slowly roll all the way up to tall. Draw your shoulders back. And you're ready for your morning, afternoon, evening, day, night. Yay! Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being supportive during my technical difficulty. Looks like we're back in action. And yeah, what's happening for the rest of this week? We've got a lot of fun stuff. So this Tuesday, April 9th, 7:30 p.m. EST, we have Cos Pilates. And I will be dressed as We Fit trainer. We're going to go through my choreography for my performance that I did at the anime convention last week. And we're going to treat it like a fitness class. So it's going to be fun. There will be trivia and polls where you can vote on what we do next or challenge your fitness We Fit trainer Smash Brother knowledge. So I hope you enjoy and I hope you can come. Should be a lot of fun. Also, we will continue to have this class every Sunday at 10 a.m. EST on Sundays. Next week, I'm out of town. I don't know if I'll be able to stream. I may do a stream, but it might be a little different. Might be more of like a Q&A or a stretching one. Might be a little more casual, lower production value. So keep an eye on the schedule or my Instagram, which is up here, for more information on if that changes. But we should be here every Sunday, 10 a.m. EST. And Cos Pilates is this Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. EST. We Fit trainer demo should be fun. And then May is really exciting. Looking forward to May because I'm graduating grad school. Hopefully I graduate grad school, but also I've got a fun summer lineup that I'm excited to do. I've got a nice new list from all of you of some new ideas for Cos Pilates. Kenshin's Girl. I got a bleach idea, which is really exciting. So I'm looking forward to the next few months. I'm hoping to kick into high gear some more Cos Pilates. We'll have some new characters. We'll have some old favorites return. I also would like to do more demos on different Pilates apparatus. So we did a Wonder Chair demo a couple weeks ago where I dressed up as Tifa from Seven, and we did a cool casual demo where we went through some exercises and we did some trivia, which was really fun. Everyone did really well in trivia, which was really cool. I also have a home reformer. I'd love to do a demo on that. Maybe we can go to a local Pilates studio and do some filming. So I've got some great ideas. I think they're pretty great and I'm really excited about them. And I hope we can, have a really fun summer together. So I hope you're excited about the next few weeks. And yeah, stay tuned. You can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and here at MoveWSarah with an H. And yeah, thank you for being here. Happy Cos Pilates. I hope to see you on Tuesday. And yeah, see you soon. Thank you again. Bye.